Hey everybody, welcome to Rants by Michaela. So as we walk into the new year in this 2022 and we begin our fresh start, I just want to let you guys go ahead and know something. If you feel like there's somebody that you ever knew or hung out with in 2021 that is no longer good for you, then by all means, cut that person off. You know there's something not right about that person. You know there's something about that person's energy that doesn't match yours. You know there's something about that person's intentions that doesn't align with yours. You know there's something about the relationship that is not mutually beneficial anymore. Maybe you're getting too much from the relationship and they're not getting enough. Maybe you're giving too much into the relationship and they're not giving enough. By all means, cut them off. Enter the new year with a fresh start. It's not necessary to carry your old baggage from 2021 into 2022. That's like bringing an old broom into a new house. Why would you carry that old dust and dirt with you from the old house into the new house that is supposed to be your new beginning? Don't do it. Just cut it all off and start brand new. That is what the new year is for. The new year and spring are both about new beginnings. That's why in many cultures, like in Chinese culture, the new year doesn't start until February, until the beginning of what is getting ready to be spring, even though we know spring usually starts at the end of March. Spring, the new year, the new season, your birthday, whatever. It's all about new beginnings. Don't bring old trash into a new house. And this is true about spouses. This is true about friends. This is true about family. Yes, you can cut off family and don't feel guilty about it either. Some family are toxic and you don't need to be around them. See, sometimes when it comes to relationships, though, there are times when two people have just grown apart and that's okay. You're supposed to grow. You're supposed to grow and you're supposed to change. And sometimes the way that you're changing is not the way that your partner is changing. And that's okay. Let your partner go in their direction and you go ahead and go in your direction at the beginning of the new year. And try to do so before the end of the year is up so that you can end the relationship amicably. Because if you try to hold on too tight, if you both have gotten to the point where you know you're not the same people that fell in love with each other a long time ago anymore, but you've grown addicted to each other's energy, that whole situation could potentially blow up in your face. You can get addicted to a person the same way somebody can get addicted to drugs or alcohol or gambling. It is possible. And when you have to remove yourself from that person's presence for a prolonged period of time, it's like going through withdrawal. And in some cases, you'll end up having to grieve the life of a person who hasn't passed on. You'll have to grieve the loss of a presence of a living person. See, you get closure when a person has passed away and has had to be buried or cremated. There's no real closure when you know that person is still alive, but you just can't be together anymore. And it's understandable that that loss hurts worse than grieving a passed on loved one, if you catch my drift. And in some cases, when you both haven't just simply grown apart, when you know you're in an abusive or a toxic relationship, go ahead and get out. Now is your time. This is your sign. Go ahead and get out of that relationship that no longer benefits you anymore, where you're getting the shorter end of the stick. Go ahead and get out. Get out right now, so that next year you could begin working on yourself, healing from the trauma that you had to experience so that you don't end up cutting people who had never hurt you in the first place. They say if you don't heal from your past traumas, you'll end up bleeding on people who never cut you. But you can even take it a step worse. You'll end up defending yourself against people who have never hurt you as well and cutting them before they can cut you. Okay? Give yourself that opportunity to heal into the new year. Now, when it comes to friendships are a little bit trickier because we don't see ourselves needing to heal from friendships. We see ourselves having an epiphany and realizing that certain people's energy don't match our own energy and that person was never really our friend, which makes us feel betrayed. It's okay. It's okay to realize that somebody was just using you. There are a lot of manipulative and controlling people out there who, the minute they met you, they began to gauge you, to vet you, to see your manipulability, to see how much they can get away with you. It's okay to catch on to the way that they are, even without proof, and decide you want to cut off that relationship, even though you have no proof to give them. If someone is a really good liar, they can make sure that you never have proof to use against them. But you still have that gut feeling, that intuition that lets you know something's off and this person isn't right for you anymore. You don't owe anybody any kind of explanation for when you're ready to move on. Just go ahead and go. Let them know it's just not working out. For whatever reason, it's not working out, and it does not need to be an argument. Now, I personally know that there are people I cut off in my life when I was giving too much into the friendship, then I was getting back, and then I started to realize that the friendship was only benefiting them. It was never benefiting me. I know that there are people who tried to stick to me like glue because at the end of the day, they were leeches who were constantly trying to leech off me. I realized that there were people in my life who knew that I had something that they wanted, that they were either too lazy, too dumb, too broke to try to get themselves. So they were trying to figure out how they could get it from me, including going out of their way to do favors for me without me even asking, claiming it was coming from the kindness of their heart, when in reality they knew they were going to ask for a favor in return. And that favor in return was the real reason they wanted to be my friend in the first place. Feel free to tell people no. They're trying to play the mistaking kindness for weakness card, but weak don't mean stupid. Feel free to cut those toxic ass people out of your life as well. But the hardest type of people, and yet sometimes the most necessary type of people to cut out of your life, are your own family. My aunt told me something very important many years ago. Sometimes you gotta love family from a distance. See, just because you don't get along with certain family members doesn't mean that they've gained you as an enemy. It doesn't mean that you're unforgiving or that you're holding a grudge against anybody. It's okay to recognize and acknowledge the toxic family members in your life, because family can be both toxic and abusive and manipulating. Family can also be opportunists that like to use family when they're getting over on you, and at the same time use family as an excuse to claim that you have no right to retaliate against them. See, that doesn't work for me. We got to make it make sense. Either it's eye for an eye, or this ain't a real relationship. Family should never come with the double standard of allowing you to be abused, manipulated, taken advantage of. People can be as neglectful as they want to be towards you, or completely abandon you until it comes time that they need something. Then they want to go ahead and turn up and then say that you should still respect them because at the end of the day, they're family. It's the entitlement for me. I've had to let family know on numerous occasions, if you and I were not family, we would not be friends, because we are just on two different pages. And it's okay to say that. And it's okay to let family know they cannot get over on you. And it's okay to let them know that kind does not mean weak. And being family doesn't save you from these hands. But before things get out of control, I'm going to just go ahead and let you go and love you at a distance. Because family can't just do whatever they want to do and treat you however it is that they want to treat you, and then still demand that you respect them later. And I am so happy at the many African American millennials who are teaching the Gen X and above this logic, because there's so much about the Gen X and above that were either abusive, or their elders got away with abuse in a way that us millennials, Gen Yers and Gen Zers are not letting our elders get away with it. We've put our feet down. We have set boundaries, and we have set standards in our lives so that people cannot just come in, disturb our energy, and run amok in our safe space. So yes, feel free to cut people off as you see fit. And always protect your peace. That's my rant, everybody. I love you. Happy New Year.